Good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon. Ikaw lang mag-or
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon. Right, so I think the university week and the month is over. So we already missed 2 weeks or topics. So we have to double time before na ang ating midterms will come as a coach in I think March 2nd week. No? So as of the moment, this afternoon we will be having a long discussion with what we have started last time. Right? So let's now recall some of our slides that we have presented last time, what we have discussed. And by the way, class up, let me just verify if the official list or the official students na enrolled, yeah, official na enrolled sa class na CIT 21638 is only 29. 29 lang ang legal class. Raynan, can you please confirm kung kailan mo sa class?
For BSIT 3A, ma'am, I think 29 lang.
How many?
29.
29. Wala na ni si Liada.
Waay, ma'am.
Okay,
Or wala lang
so
kami kabalo, ma'am, if may ara nga mga in irregular.
regular. Okay, so as my list, no, 29 na report for CIP 6. Okay, so yeah. Um, alright, so we'll have a review some of the items that we have discussed last time. Uh, Maybe we can differentiate the function of information assurance from cybersecurity, from information security, and for information protection. Pwede man in your own words, no? Pwede man you can just define the information assurance. Sa pag-intindi mo last time, if you can still remember, ano siya ang information assurance? When we say information assurance, what does it mean? Based on our discussion last week. Yes, correct.
Information assurance, ma'am, about siya sa assure sa information and managing sa ilang uh, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, ma'am. Whereas, cybersecurity naman, ma'am, deals more about sa mga cyber threats nga nga by protecting information from these kind of threats such as malwares, viruses, and more pa, ma'am, na mga threats.
Okay, right? So nice try, no? So, information assurance also covers just information as well as the information systems. No? Kaya basihan ang pag-observe natin sa five pillars. Ano ang five pillars of information assurance? Five pillars? Ano naman? Lapit siya. Yes. Correct. Okay. Five pillars
As
includes
mentioned before, confidentiality, integrity, availability, eh, si Sir Jay na lang sa duwang.
sige, subject.
Authentication kag non-repudiation.
Yes, that's right. So we have five pillars. Now, which of these pillars talks about the someone that cannot deny that they have access the account. It's part of the information assurance that says or that proves that one cannot deny if they have access the account. Yes, Chan?
Non-repudiation, ma'am.
That's right. Okay, so what what are the implication of the kulang sa information assurance ng isang organization? Ano mga implications niya? Kung wala nag-observe sa information assurance, like wala sa cybersecurity, wala sa information security, wala sa information protection, ano matabo? Ano ang most likely matabo sa isang organization? Researching?
They would be prone to cyber attacks and data breaches.
That's right. Some more answers? Aside from data breaches, cyber attacks, what else? Yes, Reyna?
It can cause business loss man, ma'am, sa side sa mga company.
That's right. Business losses and the confidentiality or yeah, the trust and confidentiality of your clients. Yes, please. Ryan?
Ano ma'am, upon ang cause pag ma'am is ma-lose yung integrity sa company for not handling their information.
That's right. No? So when the company loses or lose their integrity, the trust, the confidence of their clients, that would result to bankruptcy, right? So yeah, so those are the implications of the lack of information assurance. So let's go with the rest that covers information assurance. Which laws or which public act covers the right of the seller and the seller and the buyer? Which public act protects the rights of the buyer and the seller? Anyone? You may answer the specific commercial public act number, or you may answer the definition of specifics of that public act. Yes, Miss Karen.
Republic Act 8792 ma'am,
That's
e-commerce
right,
act.
the E-commerce Act. Now, each act um, protects the intellectual property owner. Each act protects the intellectual property owner. Like, let's say, trademarks. Um, trademarks, what else? The patents, and of course, yes, Paolo?
The Intellectual Property Act in the Philippines, ma'am, and the Data Privacy Act in 2005.
Yes, that's right. And specifically, it's the Intellectual Property Code, which is the Republic Act 8290. Alright, thank you. Next, which act provides or protects the rights of which which act protects individuals from computer violations, computer related violations. Searching.
The Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, ma'am. RA 10175.
That's right. Okay. So yeah, the last one is the Republic Act 10173, and that is for the Data Privacy Act 2012. Okay. Right. So yeah, maybe you're ready for the next topics for today. Medyo malawi kita. Just bear with us because we are far behind the schedule. So yeah, we have to finish our slides today. So please um, we will have a break after 1 minute, no? Para at least we can more information. Okay, so stand by. So I think we stopped in the implications of the lack of AI. sorry, IA. Right, so let's proceed with developing and information assurance strategies. Right, so are you seeing this on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so for strategies, these are presented as based on the 10 core principles. And those principles fulfill the information assurance requirements and objectives of the maturity of the organization. Next. Okay, so let's discuss it one by one. No? For first four strategies of IA, we have the comprehensive. Now, it means that policies and programs should contain sufficient breadth and detail to support strategic, tactical, and operational implementation. So that's comprehensive. Number two, we have independent. It should contain independent contents and perspective related to the defined mission and should provide a neutral of information assurance. Number three, legal and regulatory requirements. So, the strategy should and regulations applicable to but not limited to information assurance, human resources, healthcare, finance, disclosure, internal control, and privacy with the organizational standards. Number four, we have a living document. When we say living document, it was observed since the foundation of the organization. No? There are just mga revisions or amendments, but those organizations should use the ideas, concepts, and approach outlined in this work to keep their own policies, procedures, standards, and practices up to date. So, ang mga ang mga ginutang kubra or ang mga ginutang since the beginning or since the foundation, hindi na siya mag-delete na totally delete. There will be amendments and a revision, but not to forget about the beginnings of the organization. Number five, we have the long lifespan. Now, to increase the value and relevance of an organization strategy, one is focused on the fundamentals that remains constant over time. So there are policies, there are strategies na wala siya na change. No? So it's for lifetime siyang tactics and operational components. So maybe that's the bloodline operation of the organization. So those are considered to be the life, long lifespan. Okay. For number six, we have customized and pragmatic. Now, what do you mean by this? Organizations should adopt and adapt their tactical and operational plans to reflect identified organizational requirements and risk profiles. Number seven, we have risk-based approach. So with this, one must be broad enough to give guidance to some components with diverse risk profile. This is analogous to risk portfolio approaches in finance risks. Number eight, we have organizationally significant. So for strategies of information assurance, what should be considered significant in organization strategies and collaboration? And it is significant investment in areas of concern for any organization. The last two was strategic, tactical, and operational. So the framework it is the framework that provides information to aid in planning and decisions for managers and convey information useful to employees and line managers who make operational planning and decisions. So most probably this number 9 here belongs to the upper level, which is the executive level, not they're the ones who are operational plan. Number 10, we have concise, well structured, and extensive. So the structure and contents of the organization's information assurance strategy should demonstrate a high cohesion and low pulling that should be discussed to the appropriate level. So um, after the executive level have um, done with the strategic planning, it should be discussed with the whole body in the organization so that mabalansan tanan where you are going to ano projections ang so na ano projections ang organization. Alright, so yeah, your principles of the strategic or the strategy of information assurance. Next, we go to the security controls or IA. So, information assurance, meron siya yan ng security controls. Apat ng ilan, no? So, yeah, protection of critical and sensitive assets, meeting audit and compliance requirements, compliance to regulations, regular laws, and of course, providing competitive advantage. Alright, so now let's go to a different, yes, Reina?
Good afternoon, ma'am. May nag-send po kasi message sa chat box, ma'am.
Hindi clear. That's because of the students here na dito sa outside the laboratory. Gamit sila. How about that? Okay na? Kian? Kiani? Aisan?
Hello, ma'am. Hindi mo Japan bation masyado, ma'am.
Hindi pa din. How about sa iba? How about the others? Hindi man pagkiyama lagi.
Bation siya, ma'am, pero hindi clear ang mga word. Wala, ma'am, na ginambag.
Audio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then.
Naga,
So,
ano,
just,
simultaneous ang, ano, audio
okay,
niya.
okay. What about this? Okay na? Okay. Let's continue. Please raise your hand na kung may mga concerns mo ha. Yeah. Yeah. Right, so we'll go to the next strategies. So one of the strategy used in information assurance is the defensive layer. So this leverages multiple security measures to protect an organization's assets. So later on, we will learn what are those organizational assets na need natin i-protect, of course. No? The thinking is that if one line of defense is compromised, additional layers exist as a backup to ensure that threats are stopped along the way. So, of course, no, ang defense natin medyo magastos siya when in terms of um, overhead costs. Pero this is the safest way to protect your organization's asset. So, damo siya antes makalag penetrator or attackers sa pinaka main data natin, they have to pass through several stages or layers na defense, right? Okay, so defense in depth addresses security vulnerabilities inherent not only with the hardware and software, but also with people as negligence or human error are often the cause of security breach. Okay, next. So these are the six characteristics of the defense in depth strategies. We have self-organizing, adapting to unpredictable situation, evolving in concert with ever-changing environment, resilient, proactively innovative, innovative, and the last is harmonious with system purpose. Okay, so following that, we have um yeah, of course, as company grows and the number of devices, applications, and services used across the organizations increases, this serves as important security layers. So we have the two-factor authentication. I guess you have experienced that in your daily activities, especially when you're transacting with your GCash or your online banking, right? So intrusion detection and prevention system, endpoint detection and response, or EDR, network segmentation, encryption, data loss preventions, and VPNs. So this is actually the concept of having the defense in depth. Before malabot ang inyong data, advice mo na nag-compare sa data, first you still have the policy, procedures, and awareness. You have to go for pass through the physical, the network, the computer, the application, right? So, so those are using the okay. Next is Information Assurance Management Systems, or the IAMS. So what is this stands for? So it provides an organized framework to implement and manage security practices through all phases of policy development, implementing, monitoring, and improving. So with information asset life cycle, we have the following. Um, we have um, identifying first kung ano ang asset na to protect. So yes, first we create, and then you process, and then you use or store or transmit, and then retain. You choose what is to retain and what is to dispose. Alright, so this is the life cycle of information asset. Next is another model that demonstrates the process of managing security throughout the life cycle. It's the plan, do, check, act model. So this includes implementation of continuous improvement process to obtain an effective information assurance management system. So the IAMS is adaptable to future changes and developments, business objectives, requirements, and processes. Next, this is how, or this is the conceptual diagram looks like for the plan to check act model. Alright, so yeah, we proceed to the next strategy or method. We have the points OOTA loop. So what is this stands for? The points loop consists of the following phases. We have observe, orient, decide, and act. To gather, for observe, you have to gather information, raw information about the situation and be as accurate and thorough as possible. Um, Part of the loop is orient. This step is designed to remove health biases and include areas such as genetic heritage, cultural tradition, and previous experiences. Next is design. So based on reality, the orientation decision is meant to map and coordinate what this stands for. So it provides an organized framework to implement and manage security practices through all phases of policy development or unified so with information asset lifecycle assess. So F2 T2BA. So organizations that perform continuous risk management and full OTA and apply the kill chain analysis with their substantial rather than organizations focusing on a single technology and technical solution for this application. It is good, of course, um, kung sa mga discussion or sa mga experiences, mas secure ang isa ka-organization if they do have a several stages or methods or strategies for their risk mitigation and for their defense no, against the hacker or sang sa wala sang compared to the organization who are very lenient to what we call the cyber attacks. No? Ang time na mag-act sila is only kung na penetrate na ilang system. Right? So it's good to have a like prevention or readiness no, from these attacks because we already know what will be the result of it. So it's data losses, right? Data breaches. So nga ako nagpunta ka nga mag-occur inatanan sa atin and then millions sa organization na matula wherein kung i-apply na lang din ang mga method so that your operations will operate harmoniously, continuously, so para wala sa sakla, right? Next, okay, so I think that's end of part 1 sa ato na discussion. Okay, so let me just pull up another slide here. By the way, class, no? I'd like to remind the Cisco module. It's yun nga 10 lang ang naka-comply. Only 10 of you have complied with the invitation in Introduction to Cybersecurity. So can you please check if you have already complied or have already um, joined the class of 216 and Cisco, no, Introduction to Cybersecurity. I'll give you like 5 minutes to join or to have anong maka-join ka mo. If there are issues, please let me know so that we can address it ASAP. Okay, so do you still have the link for that? Sa GC tan kita niyo. Can you see that in your GC? Everyone? Sige be, can you join? Okay, check ko di kung nag-register ka. Alright, so may apat pa nga wala naka-enroll. Can you please check? Okay, so can you kahit may mga na-miss kita ba lang ang mga classes, I'd like you to comply to module exam or module quizzes this week. First is the introduction to cybersecurity and the attacks and vulnerabilities. Okay, so I'll just activate the module pieces. Um, first module for module one, Introduction to Cybersecurity, and then the module two, Advanced Concepts and Techniques. So these two will be taken up or will be completed this week since this is our online mode no, for set A. So module exam will be activated or has been activated already. So just try and then please PM me kung hindi siya ma-access. Right? Okay. Um, okay, so did I mention last time na ang atong nga subject is kintuga ko siya information assurance and then information security. Now we're done with information assurance concepts, no, context, and the strategies. Now let's go to the information security naman. So let me just pull up my account here or my slide. Okay, so yeah, hopefully nakita niyo siya, no? Alright, so now for information security, these are the fundamentals. Now when we say uh, security, it is a quality or state of being secure, to be free from danger. Okay, so that's actually a layman's term. So a successful organization should have multiple layers of security in place. First, we have the physical security. Next, we have personal security, operation security, communication security, and then network security. Right. So for physical, um, it means to protect the physical item, objects, or areas of organizations from unauthorized access and misuse. Number two, personal security to protect individual or group of individuals who are authorized to access the organization and its operations. Okay, and next is operation security to protect the details of particular operations or series of activities in an organization. And the fourth one is communication security to protect organization security, communications or media, no? Communications media or medium, technology and content. And the last is network security to protect networking components, connection, and content. Right. The components of an information system. Since ang information assurance nag-protect kuno sa information kag ang information system, we have also to identify what composes the information system. Of course, no, it is composed of the entire set of software, the hardware, data, people, procedures, and networks. They are necessary to use information as a resource in the organization. Next, what is an information security? Now, before we have just define or describe what security is. Now, let's move on to information security. Of course, we know the CIA or the triad. Now, the protection of information is critical elements, including the system and the hardware that use, store, and transmit that information. So we have the CIA triangle or the triad was the standard based on confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Next is we have a two approaches. May mga approaches kita sa pag-comply sa atong information security. First, we have the top-down approach, halin sa babaw, halin sa CEO, down to the lowest rank, top-down approach. And the next one is the bottom-up approach, halin sa dalong, pakadto sa babaw, ang pag-observe ng information security. Now, how does it work? Now, for the bottom up, or from the bottom up, halin sa dalong, pakadto sa babaw, it's a grassroots effort. So system administrators attempt to improve security of their systems. So the key advantage are those technical experts or those who have technical expertise of individual administrators. So it seldom works. No? Because it lacks a number of critical features, which is the participant support. Kasi syempre, kung halin sa dalong, like for example, um, when the people or the rank and file proposes something, kung halin sa dalong ang proposals, of course, it requires a number of participants. Like for example, uh, petition kita for request for a change of, for example, change of the server or setup. So, kailangan pa sa mga signatures, no, you have to ask for the participants' support, organizational staying power. So, this is seldom being used approach because ang email na proposal will need to have the approval of your supervisor, and then the next is the project manager, and then the next is the vice president, and as the CEO or the board of regents or the board of directors. Wherein, kung i-compare to sa top-bottom approach, it is initiated by the upper management. So, halin sa ila, policies, procedures, and processes, of course, it will be notified, no, or it will be passed on through the next level hasta makalabot sa rank and file. Ang gusto mo tapos sa upper management, of course, there will be no effort, but it has already been approved. Okay? So that's the difference between the two approaches to information security. Now let's go to um, organization structure. For organization structure, we have executive management. Next is the information system security professional, or let's say this belongs to the MIS of a certain organization. Next is the data owners, the data custodians, the data users, and then the information security auditors. So these are the organization structures, now that made up the organization structure. Are we still okay, guys? Am I still clear with the discussion? Really? I see. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Definition of terms. Of course, now we know this already. Information assurance, information security. We all are familiar with this. So let's move on to the next. So please, ano lang, differentiate, no? Learn to differentiate the the different function of information assurance from information security. So it may have this. They may have a similarity in terms of the pillars. No? Like for example, the confidentiality. Of course, it exceeds. Sorry, no, disconnect. Okay, next one is we have the key principle also. Okay, right? Can you still hear me? Sorry to disconnect. Yeah. Right. So next is we have the key principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We're done with that. Um, yeah. Let's move on to the specific definition of cybersecurity. Now, it's a collection of tools: the policy, the security concepts, safeguards or security safeguards, guidelines, risk management that can be used to protect the cyber environment and organization, users' asset, including the computing device, the personnel who are using it, infrastructure, application services, um, that is connected no, are totally transmitted or stored information in the cyber environment. So, definition of cybersecurity, ang tanan ng mga um, devices na nag-connect sa network is covered by cybersecurity, including the personnel of the users, the application, the infrastructures, and etc. Right? So that's cybersecurity. Organization and users' asset. Now we have to identify that there are 7 users' asset in the organization. Now what are those? We have the personnel or the user domain, the computing device, the infrastructure, the network, the services, the telecommunications, and the systems or the applications being used in the organization. So those are the 7 users' assets. Okay? So later we will be dealing with domains naman. So these are just users' asset. What is the difference between the cybersecurity and the information security? So is there a difference? Anyone? Now, based on the discussion, we have already learned that a while ago nga ang information security may ara ang function niya, si cybersecurity may ara ang function niya. Ano ang difference niya? Is there really a difference? So, see, information security according to the um, National Institute of Science and Technology defines information security as the protection of information and information systems from unauthorized access, use and disclosure, disruption, modification, or destruction in order to provide the CIA. Now, Of course, no, basically, sa pangalan pa lang, information. So, information, information system na yan iya nga concern. Right? While cybersecurity is about protecting data that is found in electronic form, such as computers, servers, networks, mobile devices, from being compromised or attacked. It includes identifying what the critical data is, where it resides, its risk exposure, and the technology you have to implement in order to protect. So basically, wala nag-overlap si cybersecurity sa information security. Oh, please take note of that. So security of network and information systems. So it means the ability of network and information systems to resist at a given level of confidence. Um, any action that compromises the five pillars, um, process data or related services offered to are or accessible via those network and information systems. So that's the network. So phases of security life cycle. We have lain lang tayo kainan, no? Ang information asset life cycle. This one is phases of a security life cycle. We have to identify, to prevent, to detect, respond, and recover. Now, when you identify um, information systems, no, in a life cycle, developing the organizational understanding to manage cybersecurity risk to systems, assets, data, and capabilities. Number two, next one is prevent. It safeguards to ensure delivery of critical infrastructure services. Next is to detect activities to identify the occurrence of the cyber security event. To respond, activities is to take action regarding a detected cybersecurity event. Next, and the last one is to recover, maintaining plans for resilience and restoring any capabilities or services impaired due to cybersecurity event. Now, what are the disciplines contributing to cyber or information security? First, we have business economics, the education, the law, of course, no? Mathematics, psychology, uh, psych- mathematics, psychology. Alright. So, weakest link in the security of an IT infrastructure. We have identified three weakest link. First is the user. Um, do you agree that user is considered to be the weakest link in information security? Of course, no. Yes. Okay, because there are three kinds of users. We have the malicious users. Ano ni siya, may mga intention, right? May mga untrained users. Okay? Mga wala pala na kaagi sa awareness, education, training, untrained users. So, bali hindi humot. And the careless users. These users are considered to be not trained na. But of course, nag-isa, kasala-sala lang, gadali-dali, they tend to forget the SOP or the protocol in using um, USB, in using external hard drive, in using their emails, no? So they know the already the protocol, but they forget to perform or to implement it. Okay? Users. Next one is the human error. Human error is a major risk and threat to any organization. Um, Common threats that we encounter usually is the hacking and phishing and malware threats such as viruses, worms, trojans, viruses. Alright? Okay. Now there are related areas supported by security or the information security. We have the artificial intelligence, we have the database, um, we have the human interaction or human computer interaction. You may read that along the way. No, I will please make sure that you have a copy of this. No, if it's either you screenshot or so that we can have our quiz next week, right? Also related areas like networking, software engineering, systems analysis, and design. Those are your subjects, no, now or last year. Yeah. Um, Nga gina-offer ni sa aton nga courses. It's because it plays a very important role in information security. Right? Now there are also, if there is an impact on the information assurance, there is also an impact on security breach. We have the disclosure. Data is disclosed to an authorized party. Denial of access or data or system containing it becomes unavailable. Modification, data is changed as a result of the breach. And last is the destruction, data is lost as a result of the breach. Um, in order for us to prevent this, no, prevent those impacts on security breaches, we may apply this 9-step of information risk management method. We have we have to secure configuration. We have network security tools, of course, managing user privileges, user education awareness, incident management, malware prevention, monitoring, renewable media control, home and mobile work. Okay, now those are the important matters in information security. Okay, so let's have first a break of like 5 minutes so we can proceed with how to protect our data. Right? So just relax no kay a break taan na. Any questions so far for two modules or for 2 units to discuss? Wala pa man? Sige. We'll have our break first.
Okay na.
Alright, so let's proceed to the next topic. Of course, no, still in the topic of information assurance. Alright, so the question is done with the definition, the concept of the information assurance and information security. Now, why is there a need for us for cybersecurity? The question is, para sa ano ni siya ang cybersecurity? Okay. So, yes, since all of us are engaged, no? At all ages, from very young age up to the senior citizen, so sometimes we, most of the time, we engage no, sa cyber environment. So that's why there's really a need for us no, for a cyber security. So why is there a need for a cyber security? Of course, we have to protect our personal data. Now, if you're working, you have to protect the organization's data. And of course, you have to be vigilant with the attackers, the cybersecurity professionals. Now, let us also um, differentiate the attackers from the cybersecurity professionals because some of those um, cyber security professionals became the villain or the attackers because of some reasons, right? So yes, and later we'll know about the cyber warfare. Okay, so let's begin with the personal data. So personal data. All right. So here you can see what is cybersecurity protection of network systems and data from unauthorized view or harm. So your online and offline identity here is being mentioned. So your identity that interacts on a regular basis at home, school, or at work. No? So for your online identity, your identity while you are in cyberspace. Now, when you decide to engage in the network or the internet, you have registered online. You have already a footprint in cyberspace. So, yeah, if you're really fond of subscribing in different applications, different tools, in games, anywhere else, using your name. Some of you, I understand, na hindi real name ang ginagamit just because to protect your real identity. But what important here is um, you should only reveal a limited amount of information about you. Now, there was, I think, a movie no, na because of the engagement online of the true identity, the SS number, everything. Kung sa US, you really have to
Kadlay ka
register so
init-init.
that they have this national
Nagkasunod ba
information
ko to?
about you that that. So what happened in that movie
Wala ka
was
dininitan?
na ano siya, there was an accident, and then when she wake up um, and recall her SSS number, it was stolen by someone else. Bilog niya nga yung identity nakuha because of the registration or the engagement online. So same is true with us, no?
Nagkakadlay
That was
ka.
actually 20 years ago siguro na mga movie.
Online kami dito.
Now it's very easy na lang to store someone else's
Kawa pa doon.
identity
Mugani di ko
using
mag-attend kay
your
adlaw lang ko to.
information.
Maulit dason.
Let's take for example the um, Facebook. Kung isa,
Ito na lang. Pagkatako ko pa.
maybe you should known somebody else or
Wala kami ka pa sa December DTR. Wala ako ka pa sa December DTR.
so
Kay, di ba wala ako to nagkadto din.
hack is of course using already a denial of service. Ang password mo yun ay financial sulot, right? So, may mga says, now these personal data should be the ones to be protected, right? So, um, yes, personal data is your name, address, age, birthday, address. No? Once you have engaged or once you have registered online, you have already opened your life to be accessed by someone else, right? This one also is considered to be your personal data, your medical records, your education records, your employment and financial records. And most important thing is your financial records, your bank accounts. Yes, Lizzie Chai, if you raise your hand, Joy. Yeah, do you have question, Joy?
Wala, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Let's proceed. Yeah, medical records, of course, your these records actually is covered by the Data Privacy Act 2012. Now, once this is compromised, you have the right to um, call the attention of the ones nga nag-share it without your permission. Um, your personal numbers, your email number should be asked first from you kung gusto nila i-share, no? For example, may friend ka nga may nangayo sa iya, he or she should have asked you if you allow them to give them more data. So otherwise, you have the right to file a 10173 Public Act for sharing of personal data. Okay? Right. So always be aware of your rights, no? Para at least hindi ka maligado because um, nowadays tama gid ka perti ang mga users or online users because we have the cyberbullying na wala ka kalaban-laban kina ano ka na kina assault ka na or kina harass ka na online, no? You should know your rights, okay? So have signed up with um, Facebook, if you have read, if you have read their terms and conditions, the pictures that you have posted or uploaded in their application or in their application, uh, like Facebook, gina-own na ng Facebook. Okay? So once, in order for you to protect yourself, do not overshare too much. Kahit paano, ganun lang dayat yung ang FB. Kung halin sa pag-social nila, sa pagtulog nila, kung di sila concern or um, those are very sensitive information na very attractive sa mga hackers, no? Or mga makawat, no? They would know na wala kayo sa kalayan nyo because you have posted na your notification, right? So, yes, you do not overshare your life in the social media. Okay, so those are the sometimes crimes, no, are committed or happens because na-overshare nyo man ang iyong private
To-charge ka,
information.
day.
Alright, next is your computer devices. This data storage and your portal to your online data. Those are also your personal data. Use of some kind of computing devices. Ara mo kita mga computing devices like your tabs, your laptops, your mobile phones, yeah, and other devices desktop. Those are the data or the storage, data storage na nag-comprise ang inyong mga personal data. Personal data as a target. So, how do criminals get your money? There's no online credentials. So, they can sell your credentials to marketing partners. No? So, may makuha sila out of that. Right? So, who would they want? Why do they want your identity? Of course, no, for long-term profits, medical benefits, files as a fake tax return, open credit card accounts, or payment. So, may mga tao dyan na naging career na nila ang pagkuha sa mga personal details sa iba na tao. Ang ginamit nila ng business. Alright? So, please be aware of that. So, organizational data. So, organizational data, we have the traditional data, we have the personalized data, we have the intellectual data, financial statements, the income statements, balance sheets, cash flow statements. These are all data sa organization na hindi dapat i-share sa iba. Right? These are traditional data. Like for example, intellectual patents, trademarks, product plans, trade secrets, hindi nyo siya pwede i-share. Alright? These are the data of your organization that should be protected, should not be shared, and will treat as confidential data. Alright? Internet of Things and big data are a lot. Sony Pictures, we have Equifax, um, and a lot more. So, attackers and cybersecurity professionals. So, how do we identify attackers? So, there are two types. We have the amateurs or the skilled activities with little or no skill using existing tools or instruction found online for attacks. Hackers are identified are classified into three. We have the white hats, the gray hats, and the black hats. So break into computers or networks to gain access. The white hats break into system with permission, while the gray hats are compromise systems without permission, and the black hats, of course, take advantage of any vulnerability in illegal personnel or financial political data. And the last one is the organized actor. So there are organizations of criminal activists, terrorists, and the state-sponsored hackers. So they are considered to be like, for example, lagpo ng mga pamphlet ng mga shoot, infiltrate, or to terrorize a certain country. There are two kinds of threats actually. We have the internal threats and external threats or typical threats. For internal threats, it can be an employee, it can be mishandled confidential data, threaten the organization or internal services, or not directly structured devices. Facilitate outside attacks by connecting infected USB, yeah, into corporate computer systems, or accidentally invite malware onto the network through malicious emails. It can also cause the damage caused by the direct access. Second one is the external security threats, exploit vulnerabilities in the network, of course, um,
Ihalin day.
and also use of social engineering to
Naman na
corrupt
ginapangita ko.
devices. So those are the internal and external threats caused by a cyber attack. Now, what is this warfare?
Dala di.
So it's a conflict using cyberspace.
Kagakit isa.
Let's take an example of stocknet malware. They design
Dira ko
damage
charge.
Iran's nuclear enrichment plan using modular coding or user-stolen digital circuit codes. So the purpose of cyber warfare is to use gain advantage over adversaries' actions and competitors, or it can sabotage the infrastructure of other nations, give the attackers ability to blackmail data. System may also lose confidence in the government's ability to protect them and affect the citizen's faith in their government without ever physical invading the target nation. So cyber cyber warfare, um, it includes the whole country. While aton last time, while our target here is to protect our organization's data, but let's also be aware of the cyber warfare that is actually happening around us. So yeah, to have a summary of what we have discussed in this module, we have defined personal data, we define characteristics of personal data, characteristics of organizational data, tackle security breaches, motives of attackers, describe the legal and ethical issues facing the cybersecurity professionals, explain the characteristics and purpose of cyber warfare. Okay, so yeah, we have took up three um, topics for today. Let me just pull up the attendance sheet for you to sign in.
Ikaw naman susunod or kasi tapos na ako. Sino? Sino? Si R, oo. Si R.
Kindly sign fill up the attendance and yes, Raymond.
Need po request access, ma'am.
Let me just check. So,
Yung ikaw. Ako na pala, ako na. Ay, hindi, right. Ay, ako na. Ay, right. Ano? Kapag naman si ano? na lang, ito na lang.
Access din na.
Can you please try it again?
Okay na po, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sige, thank you.
Open door.
Any questions so far with
Open
regards
door
to
me,
the
open door.
topics that we'll be discussing this afternoon? And please don't forget to,
Ako
or
na lang, ako
remind
na
me
lang. I
to
believe I can
activate the
fly.
module pieces for
Nahulog sa
module 2
kulay.
this week. Okay? We have to double time so we can have our quiz on next week. We'll have face-to-face quiz next week. Okay? So 17, 18, 19. We'll have our quiz next week, February 19. Let me pin paste.
Mute, mute.
Alright? So, any questions so far? Christina?
Ma'am, pwede po kami kapangayo. PPTs, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Wala di kami na-take note.
May nag-take note, ma'am, pero limited lang, ma'am, kay ang ano ba, ma'am.
Um,
Kung kisa nagahalin kami, ma'am, sa ano, ma'am. Kay CR something.
maybe I can give, ano lang, can give some tip on it.
Ako
But,
naman, ako naman.
yeah, ano lang, um,
Hanap pa, it's a
let me
number
see
that comes
kung
to
pwede ko siya
mind.
siya ma-download.
Sige, kasama ko.
Okay?
Okay lang.
Thank you, ma'am.
And have a round. Okay? And any questions? We will still have 2 more topics before the quiz next week. Okay? Right. So please don't forget to fill up the attendance. Okay, so if there are no questions, class dismissed. Thank you very much for joining today's session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, tam.
Sige. Ang hanap pa, it's a number that comes to mind. When I think of all the years I wanna be with you. Wake up every morning with you in my bed. That's precisely what I plan to do. Charis.
The triple beta.